What's going on, guys? Kit Bash here, bringing you another video. This time it is the long anticipated how to dye your figure video. I got a lot of requests on this one, a lot of questions on this one, and I'm about to walk you through it. It's really simple. People have problems dyeing certain things. Right off the bat, you cannot dye hard plastics. You can, but you might have to boil them. And that's pretty dangerous. I'll post some pictures of a guy I know on Instagram. He boiled his figure with the dye and it melted the plastic. So that's why I don't boil them. I just get really hot water and I watch it and I stir it and I take it out and I look at it, put it back. It's certain things that I do, and I'm gonna show you right now. I actually have a walkthrough. I actually have a walkthrough of me not dyeing a figure because I don't have anything I need to dye right now. I was planning a custom, but the guy I bought the figure from, he didn't come through. He didn't ship it, so I had to get my money back. And I'm currently looking for another figure. I don't want to spoil what it is. I'm pretty sure if I tell you what it is right now, you'll know, and I don't want to spoil it. So starting, let me show you the dye I use. This is a RIT Dye More. It's synthetic graphite. I guess that's as close as black as you'll get. I don't have just a black one. It's just graphite. But this is the stuff I use. And the bottle has instructions, but a lot of people don't seem to understand that this is synthetic fabric dye, as you can see right there. If this would focus, I'm shaking. This is synthetic fabric dye. You cannot use these same instructions here to dye a plastic figure because this is set up for fabrics, not plastics. That's why I took my own approach. I take my own approach with it, and I don't boil my stuff. It says to boil for 30 minutes and stir the fabric the entire time. One, I don't want to sit there and stir something for 30 minutes. And two, I figured it would take a little longer to dye plastics, especially if you're going from like a yellow to a black or a blue to a black or red to a black, whatever have you, whatever color you're going to dye from. It's going to take a little longer. At least I think so. So I'm going to show you right now my process. I'm going to put it up on the screen. It's a video, and I'm going to talk over it. Show you my entire process of how I dye the figures and how long I leave them in the water and how I do my process. So here it goes. So here I am at my kitchen sink. There's the cup I use. I just put hot water in the cup, and then I'm going to take it over to the microwave. I put it on about 2 minutes. I don't think you can see it because I sped the footage up. But I put it on about 2 minutes. That's usually hot enough. If not, you can go longer. Then I take that cup out and I put it inside like a heat insulated cup just to keep the water hot. You see me doing that there. This is not a step you have to take. I just do it. I don't know why I ask for soap, but it does. But I pour about half the RIT dye in the water. Take a plastic spoon, I stir it. I constantly stir, probably like 5-10 minutes. I check it and I keep stirring, and that's my process. So after all of that, after you get your pieces, put in your water, as you saw already, you get your pieces put in your water, and you get everything going how you need it going. It's all time. So me personally, I dye my figures from anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. And I go further than that. Like for this one, I think I dyed him for like an hour and a half. Only because and I had to boil him a little bit too. And I only dyed him that long because some pieces weren't taking the dye the same. So I had to get the water really hot, which is boil it, and it was kind of sketchy. So I took it out and I just microwaved the dye with the pieces out. I microwaved the dye with the water again, and I put the pieces back in it and let it sit for like an hour and 45. The same thing goes for him. I dyed this one because he was going from bright purple to black. So I dyed a lot of his pieces, and I think it was just an hour for him because it took the purple took the black dye really well. The purple took the black dye really well, as you can see, because this is a paladin base body. So these upper thighs were purple. The entire arm from here down was purple. The hands were purple. And I think the knee joints were dark blue because of Loki. But everything else was pretty much bright purple. And it took the dye really well. There's no paint rub or anything. I'll put a card for his review right now. There's no dye or anything. It doesn't rub. It doesn't chip. It doesn't flake. It doesn't do anything. What a lot of people don't understand about the dye too is when you deal with these plastics do get malleable, and they kind of open up. I'm not gonna say they have pores, but they kind of open up to heat and they contract to cold. With that being said, The reason I leave my stuff in the dye so long is not only because I want the stuff to dye, but I want it to thoroughly dye. Like, I don't want to dye it and then I see, I don't want to dye these arms. Like, this was a X-Men Deadpool forearm right here. And it was like blue, red, and yellow, I think. It was 3 colors. And I don't want to dye this for, like, say I dye it for 30 minutes. And I still can see, like, for example, prime example, I had to paint this. I painted this with a satin black because I could still see the red and the yellow under the dye. And I dyed it for a long time. I actually put it in the dye and took it back out and put it back in because it wouldn't take. I ended up having to paint, though. And the same thing goes for Ronin. I dyed, this was a Marvel Legends Karl Mordo base body. That body's like a green and a gray. It's like green, gray, and some browns. This one actually took the dye really well. It took the dye really quick, too. I only dyed it for like 45 minutes, probably. That's why I say certain plastics, they'll take stuff differently. They act differently with it, and it just goes about it differently. So for him, he took the longest to dye. He was like in the mid-range only because I used a couple different colored plastics. And him, the Karl Mordo body, which was, and I didn't dye the legs because the legs were already black. But these upper arms, these up here, and the chest piece, and this piece right here, were all green and gray and brown. So they took the dye really well. Yeah, it's a really neat process. I really hope this video, like my explanation of it, helps. Just remember, when you're dyeing your figures, don't boil. If you have to, but you watch and make sure you watch the figures. Make sure you watch what's going on. Don't just put them in there and let them sit on the bottom, because you have to remember there's heat coming from the bottom from the burner. Or if you have an electric stove, however it's going to go, there's heat coming from under that pot. And if you let that stuff sit there, it's going to melt. And like I said, I'm going to post a picture. If you do choose to boil, try to do low heat. Let the water boil first, and then do your mixture of your dye, your soap, and your water. Your dye and your soap. So let that water boil a little bit, turn it down. As long as it's hot, really, you'll maintain that heat in that pot. Don't let this plastic sit on the bottom because it will melt, especially him. His plastics are all soft plastics on this figure. So if you have a figure that's really all soft plastics, like that Karl Mordo, or should I say Ronin now, or like him, what made me nervous was the forearms and the biceps, because of the plastic not being as rigid as other plastics. With him, the thing I worried about was this crotch piece, because you can see this crotch piece is really soft. It's a really soft plastic in order to get out of the way for the leg joint. So just be cautious when you're dyeing it. Remember, like really hard plastics, like for me, Black Manta, these pieces right here, I can bring them closer. These waist pieces right here wouldn't dye. So I had to swap them with the movie Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Those pieces wouldn't dye for me. So I had to swap them out. The lower waist I wasn't going to do because it's hard plastic too. So the lower waist I didn't dye. Only because hard plastics, they don't dye. I haven't had any success dyeing them. And like I said, even with him, I boiled that waist piece and it just made me nervous. I didn't want to melt it. So yeah, hope this video really helped you guys. I hope I explained it right. If I didn't, just drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like, comment, subscribe. And I am on Patreon now. So if you really want to be a supporter and help me do better customs and kit bashes, and also be entered into monthly giveaways, please consider supporting. I'm going to put the Patreon link in the bottom, Instagram, Facebook links in the bottom. I'm still going to post on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, but I will have Patreon exclusive content. So like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about this process. Did I miss anything? And I'm out.